please let there be a Mario Maker 3 with the badges from Mario Wonder. Like, please, Nintendo, please. Mario Maker 3 with the badges from Mario Wonder. Please. It's a Mario and Luigi, they're elephants. But why? Why are they elephants? That's so weird, right? Look, they're touching trunks. Okay. Aren't you glad you clicked on this video? All right, everybody, I think it's been enough time since Mario Wonder came out that we can sit down and really review this game. I know a lot of you have been waiting for my official review, and here it is. The Mario Wonder hype came like a tornado, and like, there is a lot to say about Mario Wonder. I don't even know where to begin. I wrote a lot of notes throughout the process because I knew I was gonna do a review. So I'm gonna go through a bunch of stuff. We'll just start from the top. So when Mario Wonder was originally announced, I was actually a little bit skeptical, as a lot of you probably remember. They introduced the Elephant Mario, which we'll talk about more later. They showed a lot of gimmicks with the Wonder Flower stuff, how you get a Wonder Seed or flower and then the whole level transforms, and there's lots of weird stuff, like you can be a bowling ball or turn into a giant balloon, or like they're singing piranha plants and all sorts of crazy stuff. What the hell? My initial impression was like, whoa, this looks really weird and gimmicky, and I wasn't so sure about it. They showed a second trailer and I got a lot more excited because they showed like some speed running elements to the game. They showed some cool platforming stuff, the badges and all that. I was like, okay, maybe this will be pretty good after all. So how did it turn out? Well, let's get into it. Let's start with the art style. So the art in Mario Wonder, I think, is actually really, really cool. The animations, the art, it looks really nice when you're going into pipes, coming out of pipes, going indoors, the way Mario looks when he runs. People and enemies and characters are very expressive in the game, and I think it looks really great. I think that's a strong part of the game for sure. The color palette is beautiful and vibrant. The overworld and all that stuff, the colors pop. They look great. One of my favorite levels in the entire game, I think, was Muncher Fields in the background. The giant Bowser is looming ominously, and it looks very, very cool. In the airships and stuff, like the detail in the layers in the back just looks fantastic. I feel like in all these levels, you can really look in the background and find all these cool little details everywhere, you know? So I think overall the art and animations and stuff, very good. Very, very good. As far as the music goes, there actually are a lot of good tracks in this game. Tracks I really like a lot. Overall, it's hard to compete with like past Mario titles having some of the most legendary music ever. Overall, this game, the music is great. It's not like iconic or anything. I don't think, you know, years from now we're gonna be talking about how fantastic the Mario Wonder soundtrack was or anything, but overall it's like, it's a solid soundtrack. The Elephant Mario still remains a mystery to me. It's so random still, and like the game really didn't do any sort of explaining as to why elephants. Why do you turn into an elephant? Nobody else in the game turned into elephants. So if you think about Mario 3D World, you turn into a cat. The cat gimmick is a big part of the game. You fight like cat Goombas and cat Bowser and cat everywhere. In this game, you've got an elephant character, and why? He does water the poplins, like you spray water all over them and they get really excited, but I wasn't sure if like Bowser was gonna turn into an elephant, kind of like 3D World. He did not. So overall, the elephant was a strange gimmick, not really one I understand. Some people were like, well, there's other Mario power-ups that were kind of random too, like he turns into a raccoon in Mario 3, and that's kind of true, but it's not exactly the same, because in this game, he literally turns into an elephant. In the other games, he like gets some features of a raccoon, like the ears and a little tail, but he's still Mario. Overall, I'm a little mixed on the elephant. Like, I don't mind the power-up. I think it's pretty cool, actually. It actually grew on me a decent amount the more I used it. I kind of liked charging through things and smashing things with my snout. As far as speedrunning with the elephant goes, it was actually really, really cool, and there were a lot of cool tricks you could do with it. So I don't even know if I'm hating on the elephant. I'm just still confused. And that's a pretty good segue into another topic, which is, what is the theme of this game? Like, what is the overarching message or thing about this game? And it's called Super Mario Wonder, and I think most people would say it's the wonder effect, which is you get a wonder flower and the level goes haywire, right? So I guess you could say that wonder is the main message of this game, whatever that means, right? Wonder, which could be literally anything. It's not elephants. There was another thing that I was thinking about. They incorporate music and rhythm into the game a lot, like the dancing piranhas. They've got the platforming levels, the doot, 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 doot. A couple of those, and then the final boss is a rhythm level, pretty much. The entire final boss is based on music and rhythm, and they had like Ninja Dance Party, and they have a rhythm badge. So actually rhythm and music is a huge, I would say the rhythm and music aspect is bigger than the elephant, you know, as far as like a gimmick or a theme for the game. I would say rhythm and music is very, very high up there. It was actually kind of confusing that the final boss was a rhythm game when no other bosses or anything had anything to do with rhythm. The Bowser Jr. fights were mostly underwhelming and like kind of whatever, right? I think I've talked to a lot of people and heard very similar feedback. Almost everybody says the Bowser Jr., the boss fights in this game are pretty bad. They're just very underwhelming. They're boring. They're not very creative, or they don't really do much for anybody, I feel like. The airships or whatever, you know, auto scroll levels, they're not that good. And the bosses, if you can even call them that, are literally just holding right and jumping on a button. And that's it. Well, that was easy. So overall, the bosses in this game are very bad, like very, very bad. I actually like the final boss. I think it has a lot of charm. It's very exciting, like Bowser's dancing. And every time I'm speedrunning, I get really hyped when I get there. The only problem with the final boss is that there's no challenge at all. There's literally no challenge whatsoever. So I kind of wish there was like a secret final boss that took the rhythm aspects even further, more platforming. Like I feel like they could have done a lot more. I think about 3D World, how the final Bowser fight, you're climbing up a crazy tower and Bowser's all over you. That was a much better boss fight than anything we got in Mario Wonder, I feel like. So let's segue into level design. So the overall level design, there's a lot of levels. I couldn't begin to even scratch the surface of talking about all of them. The levels themselves are beautiful, and I think for the most part, let's talk about the main levels in the game, like not the little bonus levels or the break time. Man, I have a lot to say about levels in this game, actually. The regular levels, for the most part, are pretty decent overall. I think they're pretty well made. They're fun. They're cool to explore and find stuff in. And I'm trying to think about where I want to go first. So, okay, first, let's talk about the wonder effect. Every level has a wonder flower, and when you get it, something random happens. The quality of that experience is all over the place in this game. Like, some of the wonder effects are pretty cool, and some of them are like pretty lame, to be honest. Some of them are really just blah. Like, I don't like the slime power up in World 5. I don't really like the bowling ball thing. It's super gimmicky. To be fair, the bowling ball level in Special World was actually pretty fun. The one in World 6 was it was exactly what I thought it would be when I saw it in the trailer. I was like, oh, that looks really gimmicky. And it was quite gimmicky. And it's funny because I felt like they proved that it could have been better, like with the Special World level, because like if you take that bowling ball thing and put it into a cool platforming stage, it works. But just like rolling around in a level with no difficulty, like bowling pin sounds, it just doesn't do it for me. There are so many wonder effects, I can't even begin to get into all of them. There are some really cool ones, like when you activate the Wonder Flower and then the level turns into like the Temple of Doom and the giant ball is crushing everything, you're running ahead of it. Ones like that. Some of them are just fantastic and whimsical, like in the Missile Meg level in the final Bowser world, you're like riding rockets into outer space. They got that crazy one where you're on a boat and shooting cannons at shit. So like, I'm not gonna talk about all of them, but just some of them are cool, some of them are lame, and like, you know, it's like all in all, it's a mixed bag. Now let's segue into some of the other levels, the non-regular levels. First with break time levels. So Mario Wonder has these levels called break time, which are scattered all about. Usually you unlock them when you beat a regular level, but most of these levels can be beaten in like 5 seconds or less. And most of them are so brain dead that it's bad, you guys. It's really bad. I don't know what they were going for with this, but there's no challenge, there's no intrigue in like any of these levels. In any of these levels, dude. They could have made so much more fun like platforming levels using all of the badges and stuff that the game has to offer, the power-ups. But instead they made these break time levels that almost all suck. They almost all suck, dude. And then let's talk about the search party levels. There are like 3 or 4 search party levels, maybe more. I can't remember anymore. I blocked them out of my memory, but every search party level is absolutely awful. One of the search party levels is find the hidden block. Another one is pick a pipe. Literally pick a pipe. I'm not kidding. Mario Maker pick a pipe, hot garbage. And again, every single search party level it's just not good. They're not good levels. One of the break time levels, to go back to that conversation, is literally just holding right. Like I'm gonna put that into the video here so you guys can see it. I'm sure you've already played it and seen it. You literally just hold right. And that is where I think there's a big problem with this game, because Nintendo is trying to make a game that caters to everybody. They're trying to make a game that satisfies Mario fans, longtime Mario fans, people like me, and they're also trying to entice the new generation of kids. And unfortunately for people like me, as like an older seasoned gamer, like I have to learn to share my Mario games with kids nowadays in the year 2023, which is very different than 20, 30 years ago. The times have changed, my friends. They don't make games like they used to back in my day. So let's talk about the badges. Now, the badges were, when I heard about the badges, I got so excited. So excited. So I was like, man, the speed run is gonna be wicked. You're gonna be able to like choose a different badge in every single level. It's gonna be super insane. All these different things, like this level, I'm gonna use this badge or this badge, this badge. I was super psyched for that. As I was playing the game, I was like trying all these badges out and I was like, cool, it's pretty cool. But what ended up happening was like, only a few badges really matter. Only a few badges really mattered. Whether you're playing casually or speedrunning, so many badges you would never use. So many badges were like clearly inferior to other badges. For example, the crouching high jump. I don't know why you would ever use that over like the floating high jump or the spinning, the double jump. For me, even a casual playthrough, I ended up using the same badge for almost the entire game. I think I used floating high jump for most of the game, and then once I got the double jump, I used that one. A lot of the badges ended up being gimmicky and like not for me. I feel like the badges aren't leveraged properly enough. They don't have enough levels that use the badges, because they give you like a couple challenge levels to use them, and then like you have the final badge level which uses all the badges. But I honestly feel like they needed way more levels that are specifically made for each badge. Like a whole world for the grappling vine badge. The grappling vine badge is fucking epic. You know, you don't really use it much, but you could build some amazing platforming levels using it. And we get a little taste of that in the final badge challenge, but that's it, man. That's it. I feel like there should be 6 levels, 6 badass platforming levels of increasing difficulty using just the grappling vine badge. And that's the same for all the badges, crouching high jump, double jump. Like all of these are such amazing badges, give you really cool and unique abilities, but Nintendo doesn't really give you the right levels to use them. So I would be all in favor of like DLC packs, like Nintendo rolls out like 10 level DLC packs for grappling vine, whatever, man. I would pay $5 for that shit. I don't care. I would do it. Sign me up, dude. So overall, the badges are amazing and they're really cool, but I feel like they're underutilized and there's a lot of lost potential, which is why I feel like there needs to be DLC packs for Mario Wonder with new levels, or a Mario Maker 3 that has Mario Wonder and badges in it. Can you imagine a Mario Maker with the grappling vine and stuff like that? That would be So epic. And to touch on level design one more time, I feel like the final Bowser world and the special world really show how amazing the level design could be if they leaned into what makes Mario great in the first place, which is platforming. It takes like almost the entire game to get to that point, and then I feel like we don't get enough of it. So to talk about the controls of the game itself, the physics are actually pretty great. I like how the game feels. I think it feels really good. I really enjoyed it. Does it feel as good as like Super Mario World physics? It's hard to beat Super Mario World. Super Mario World is pretty nice, but I would say Super Mario Wonder has really good physics and control and all that stuff. Like, I liked it a lot. And for speedrunning the game, I think the speedrun of this game is incredibly, incredibly fun, but there is a problem. So Mario Wonder doesn't have any shortcuts in it. So I made a video a couple weeks ago about how old Mario games all had shortcuts like warp pipes, warp whistles, special world, access to Bowser. Mario Wonder doesn't do any of that shit. To beat the game, it takes you like hours. You have to go through all the worlds, do all the shit. And I think that's a pretty big disappointment. Number one, because I feel like that stuff is iconic and such an important part of Mario games. Not only do I think that's really cool to have that in the game for replayability, but also for speedrunning. It gives you a shorter category. It's a lot more fun in that regard. And then you can run the long categories if you want to, or replay the game or whatever. However, to critique the speedrun a little bit, so I got the world record in the All Royal Seeds category, held it for a little while. I have it at the time of recording right now. I still have it. I probably don't have it anymore because it's very, very competitive. But I want to say the speedrun, the game itself, the speedrun is so fun. It's one of my favorite speedruns of all time as far as the gameplay is concerned. But it has all these issues that make it really annoying to speedrun, like tons and tons of dialogue, stupid ass Prince Florian who never shuts the fuck up, massively long cutscenes after every single world, and you can't skip any of the cutscenes. But for some reason, you can skip a few cutscenes in the game, but there are so many cutscenes you can't skip. Why can't you skip the cutscenes, man? If you could skip these annoying cutscenes, it would shave like 20 minutes off the speedrun, dude. Stuff like that really makes replayability tedious as hell too. Even outside of speedrunning, if I wanted to casually replay the game, it's super lame that I have to like mash through these cutscenes. Seriously, so much of the speedrun is mashing the fucking dialogue button. There are so many useless badges, man. To go back to badges, like spring jump, boing, boing. Who the hell would use spring jump? Who would actually use that badge for real? Outside of like one time, who would use it? All right, now let's steer this around and talk about something I really, really, really love about this game, and that is the charm. This game is dripping with charm, so much charm. Back to the art style and the animation, so beautiful, so expressive. The enemies, the characters, mwah. I think that's one of the shining things about this game is how pretty it is, how pretty and polished and expressive everything is. I love Bowser rocking out at the end. I love all the piranha plants singing and dancing. It's good stuff. And I know I told you that I'm like mixed on Elephant Mario, but you know, he has grown on me. I'm still confused, but he did grow on me. Please let there be a Mario Maker 3 with the badges from Mario Wonder. Like, please, Nintendo, please. Mario Maker 3 with the badges from Mario Wonder. Please. So I never tried multiplayer, and I don't think multiplayer is for me because I think you just like help each other through levels, and I don't really know if it has. For some reason, when I saw the preview, I thought there was like competitive multiplayer stuff, but I don't think there actually is anything too exciting in that realm. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the difficulty stars on levels, so each level has a difficulty rating. They make no sense, dude. They have like the Bull Rush level in World 1 is a 4-star difficulty. It makes no sense, dude. They have like 4 and 5-star difficulties, but then they have the final badge challenge is a 5-star difficulty, but they have so many other levels that aren't that hard as 5-star. The whole rating system is fucked. Just ignore the ratings. They don't make any sense. Also, the secret badge you get for 100%ing everything or beating the final badge challenge is... Actually, I didn't use it that much, but I thought it was lame. When I used it, I was like, this is it? I was hoping for something a little more epic. Man, I don't know what I was hoping for. But for some reason, that wasn't it. You know how Mario World changed everything? Where the overworld changed, the enemies changed when you got 100%, right? That was epic. Well, that was so cool. This badge is not nearly as cool as that. So all in all, I know I said a lot of stuff, and when I do these reviews, I feel like a lot of critiques come out, but I feel like they need to, and maybe I don't say enough good things. So it's actually interesting because at the end of the day, Mario Wonder is a beautiful, beautiful game. The art is beautiful, the animations are beautiful, the music is fun and whimsical, the Wonder effect is fun and whimsical. The level design, there's a lot of good levels in there. Of course, there are lots of bad ones. The physics engine is great. The core gameplay is fantastic with the badges and stuff. For someone like me, this game leaves so much to be desired. I have to resort to speedrunning this game to kind of get what I'm looking for, right? I just feel like it needs more like awesome levels. It needs more awesome levels that use the badges. Maybe a little less stupid gimmicks, but the core gameplay is there. It's so good. There's so much potential. I just feel like it's underutilized. So if I were to remove speedrunning from the game, I think it's a different rating. So just the casual experience. Let's pretend speedrunning doesn't exist. I gotta give this game like a 7. Probably 7.5. 7.5. I think because of the speed run and like the cool self-imposed challenges that I can do, I boosted up to like an 8. Because I've had so much fun mastering the levels with the jet run badge and all that stuff, which I think they intended for. They wanted you to mess around with that stuff. But Nintendo doesn't provide the stuff that you need to really enjoy that to the fullest. For example, Tropical Freeze has built-in speed running with rewards where you play every level, you speed run every level, try to get an amazing time. Mario Wonder doesn't do that shit because Mario Wonder does not prioritize that. Whereas Tropical Freeze prioritizes gaming like a madman, which is what I like. But yeah, for me overall, Mario Wonder, probably realistically a 7.5, too watered down, too much for kids, not enough leveraging the badges and all the cool stuff. The core gameplay and potential is all there, but unfortunately, too many bad levels. Doesn't lean into the good elements hard enough. Anyways, that was a long ass review. I gotta go. Thumbs up, subscribe. Be sure to leave your angry comments down below so I can read them. I know a lot of y'all are gonna get mad because I criticized the game. That's fine. But I also love the game. I love this game. Like 7.5 or an 8. That's pretty good. And I'm gonna leave you with this. I think I said it already, but this was one of my favorite speedruns of all time. Too damn long. The speedrun's too damn fucking long. But the actual core gameplay experience of speedrunning,